We would like to think that everyone has heard of the missing case of Bob and Vida Proctor. Missing from Aurora, Nebraska since January 12, 2023, last seen in Grand Island on the afternoon of January 12th. On January 15th, an endangered missing advisory issued for central Nebraska. The Aurora Police Department attempting to locate Robert M. Proctor, 89 years old, and his wife, Vida Proctor, 92. As with many missing persons cases, there was confusion at the beginning. Slowly the pieces started to come together. The Proctor's granddaughter, Lacey Fleming, now tells us that on January 11th, the Proctors left their home at 4:10 p.m. At 4:19, they left the Aurora Co-op after filling their 2007 Chrysler Pacifica with fuel. The Proctor's next known locations are as follows. By 4:55, they are at the Grand Island VA Medical Center. By 5:35, Bob is transferred to the St. Francis ER via ambulance. At 8:04 p.m., Bob is discharged from the hospital. Bob and Vida leave. St. Francis states they are aware that Vida has problems driving at night and got lost on her way to St. Francis from the VA Medical Center. Vida attempts to drive them home in the dark and heads west on Fadley Avenue from St. Francis. Video footage shows Vida turn south on Webb Road around 8:15 p.m. They aimlessly drive around searching for Aurora, Nebraska. They reportedly arrive at a home in Giltner and ask for directions specifically to Aurora between 10 and 10:30 p.m. There was further confirmation of the Proctors being in Giltner. Video footage shows Bob and Vida arrive at a stop sign in Giltner at West 6th Road and South H Road. Vida turns south onto South H Road and arrives back at the stop sign about 10 minutes later. At 10:25, they turn east on West 6th Road. There is one other potential sighting of the Proctors on Road 6. However, it takes them 2 hours and nearly 40 minutes to get to Hastings, Nebraska. They're seen on video camera there at 1:02 a.m. Video footage shows that Bob and Vida stopped at Pump and Pantry on Highway 6 in Hastings at 1:02 a.m. on January 12th. Bob got out of the vehicle, attempting to go inside, but the door was locked. It was also reported that Bob and Vida stopped at a Cenex gas station on Highway 6 and 34 past Highway 281 in Hastings. It was reported they were there around 1:15 to 1:35 a.m. Video footage erased before authorities were able to review it, but they believe it was them. The final video-confirmed sighting of Bob and Vida was at a roundabout on Highway 6 and 34 by Adams Central School. It shows them going west at 1:39 a.m. The license plate cannot be read, but they do believe this was them. People across Nebraska started searching for the Proctors as soon as their granddaughter Lacey Fleming asked for help. But it is as if Bob and Vida vanished off the face of the planet on January 12th, nowhere to be found. Lacey and her family invited Adventures with Purpose to travel to Nebraska in hopes of finding their loved ones. On Saturday, February 25th, 23 days after the Proctors were last seen, the Adventures with Purpose team started their search at Lake Hastings. They utilized many tools from their toolbox, including a magnetometer and sonar equipment. They also looked for physical signs of a car going into a body of water. The Proctor family there, grateful for AWP being in Nebraska, hopeful for answers, while at the same time terrified to find answers. With frozen bodies of water to navigate, AWP used their equipment over and through the ice, making a grid pattern to search. The Proctor son Victor and other family members helping by drilling holes for sonar equipment and checking water depth.
Helping switch off with Phil as far as pulling around. You guys are listening for a beep is what we're listening for. Okay. If we have a beep, then we'll know that we might have something there.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the 360 ready, and that's what we're gonna drop into these holes.
Okay.
This is 360, so we can just identify, and it will kick out about 150 feet, 75 feet around.
Okay.
And that'll tell us if we have this object that we've missed.
What's the deepest hole you have? Is that one out there?
They say they exhausted all leads, clearing over 300 bodies of water in 8 days around Hastings to Minden to McCook, down 10 to Kansas, across 474, up 281, and up 4. They have cleared a majority of the dirt roads around Hastings to Minden, up to I-80, and across to Highway 30. They also cleared all blacktop roads in those areas, from Hastings, Grand Island, Aurora, Giltner, Donovan, all the way to Oak, where Robert grew up, the Minden, Kearney, and Alda. Then they went all the way to Lexington, past Jeffrey Lake, near Brady, and to Gothenburg. The last location they searched was Johnson Lake. On one of the final days, Adventures with Purpose was in Nebraska. An eyewitness came forward after seeing some of the footage and some of the stories about the missing Proctors. There is no video surveillance to prove that it was the Proctors, but this gentleman says he saw the vehicle with the license plate 1030. There were other very striking details, strong enough to make AWP search the area. When questioned about the Proctors, some employees at the Cenex believe they may have seen them the day they were in Lexington. Now, if these accounts are true, it means that the Proctors were in Lexington on February 3rd. That's much later, 3 weeks in fact, since they were last spotted on surveillance in Hastings. What have they been doing if that was them, and where are they now? Now, Adventures with Purpose did have to return home, but whether you searched by equipment on ice, by boat, by drone, by car, or by foot, the Proctor's family is hoping that you will keep an eye out for their loved ones, because they seem to be nowhere, but they could be anywhere. Reporting from parts of Nebraska, I'm Melanie Standiford, Midwest Media.